Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read. I'm going to be doing 3 separate spreads: a hermit spread for singles, a lover spread for those who are in a committed relationship, and the death spread for complicated, for those in complicated relationships. It sounds very ominous, but it's about transformation. So let's see what we end up getting. Okay, let's get right into this. We're going to start with our single friends. Okay. Oh, and Aries, if you could, I know a lot of people have been reaching out to me that they've been involuntarily unsubscribed from my channel. And I know this is sort of an issue going on with YouTube right now. And I never say anything about subscribing or whatever. Those of you who watch me know that I don't. I'm like terrible. I have Leo on my 10th, so I'm terrible at like pushing my own stuff. But if you could just check if you know that you subscribed, but if you see maybe you're unsubscribed. This happened to me as well, having to do with particular channels that I subscribe to. So I don't know. It's a strange thing that's going on. But anyway, if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. So the Hermit energy. So the Hermit is really about going within for clarity, right? It's a Virgo energy, but it really is about, allowing yourself to be alone with you and really getting in touch with what it is that you really, really want, right? Really want. So with the Hermit energy, I like these. I, typically do these in my like one-on-ones, but, in person, we just pull a bunch of cards, but I figured, hey, why not? We'll bring it onto YouTube. I think it might be fun. So let's see. We'll first pull a card for the past events and the impact of the past, emotions, what it is that you really want, where your ambitions going here, having to do with relationship. Okay. The Hermit in the middle. And we have what holds you back, what's going to help you move forward and open up to relationship, what you hope for, and the outcome energy, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so let's get started here, right? So the first energy is past event, Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is an energy of success. So, for some of you, now this is a general read, so I'm just going to, give a couple of different interpretations. So the Six of Wands, you might have been super focused on becoming successful, really where maybe you were in this space of struggle and you were just trying to really put yourself out there as far as work goes, right? And just being super focused on that. You were looking to bring good news for yourself as far as where it is that you want to go. Now, for others of you, you might have been involved in a relationship where you shared feelings and you thought that everything was good. You thought that there was a deepening. You thought that things were going really well and they ended up not going well. And it ended up being this kind of situation where you were left not only very confused, but also very challenged to sort of figure out where it is that you go now. So the impact of this can definitely make you feel like, I don't even know if I belong dating. I don't even know if a relationship is for me, right? That's definitely in like an Eight of Swords kind of energy, is feeling like, oh, it's just not right for me, right? It's just feeling that kind of space. And it's self-imposed though. It's very self-imposed. It's feeling trapped, right? Thinking things will likely never improve. Things will never be any different than they are right now. So this can equal some sort of anxiety for sure, which can create challenges in concentration and you being able to manifest anything positive for yourself moving forward, right? And it's like getting over understanding that something is no longer for you is the energy that I'm feeling right here. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's making a lot of sense to me. Now, this can also indicate like you need this determination to pull yourself out of whatever it is that you feel like is making you feel trapped. Even if it means like swallowing your pride or even if it's like just overall healing from a situation. The recognition that you may be still experiencing something from a past situation is like step one, shining some light on it. So especially if you were in the kind of like pattern of relationships where things typically went pretty well for you in relationships. You know, you were pretty successful in relationships. Things went your way. And now all of a sudden it's like, you know, something happened, this negative experience, and you're just like, you know, I just don't think that it's for me right now. Could be, okay? So we have your emotions here are the Emperor. So the Emperor is in Aries energy. So the Emperor numerology is death. So it's about you. So you may feel yourself changing, right? Really kind of transforming right now. You know, you're in the space of protecting your boundaries, setting boundaries, protecting, you know, what you see for yourself. Because the Emperor energy, even though it's a leadership energy and it's like, come on, let's go. And really, come on, let's go. I want this fresh path. At the same time, it can indicate this idea of self-imposed boundaries and really wanting to protect yourself, right? That could be the energy here. But this also tells me that you can be meeting somebody new who is fantastic and who really values tradition. So it does feel like this is the space that you're in. It's like you want to meet somebody new, absolutely, but yet you are still in the space of protecting yourself. So, I mean, I get it. It makes sense, but you want to just make sure that that need for self-protection does not like create a big poster, metaphorical poster on the outside of you that's like, stay out, keep out, step away 6 feet, you know, don't come near me. Even though you want to manifest some sort of new energy, right? It does seem like. So we have, what do you want? We have the Queen of Pentacles. See, you know, yeah, I'm getting a very interesting kind of reading here, right? Because in astrology, this is Sagittarius and Capricorn, right? So this is like, you just want to take care of you. You want to take care of your body, your mind, your finances. This is about you just wanting to do you, really. And this is a very now, if you're meeting somebody new here in the Emperor energy, right? What are you hoping for? Somebody who's very reliable, supportive, affectionate, and generous. Okay, somebody who knows how to like live in a house with somebody else and also knows how to grow in a situation. All of that's great, right? But this is also being very focused on being independent and self-sufficient, really is what I want to say. Self-sufficient. Doing what you need to do. But queens are always about connecting. So when we have pentacles, mental, physical, emotionals, connecting in this way, this is definitely what you want. But at the same time, you want to be self-sufficient in a situation. So it's really not going to work for you. And you expect this too from somebody else. So you want to be able to take care of yourself, but you want somebody else to be able to take care of themselves too. Now, for some of you may want somebody who will take care of you. Some of you may be in that space as well, where you want that Emperor and the Queen of Cups is almost like a mommy and daddy kind of thing where, and don't take that the wrong way, but meaning like somebody who makes these, who's a decision person, who is very grounded, who has their money together, all of that, but you still want to have your sense of self-sufficiency and independence within the relationship. It's more like an interdependence, right? And I don't see anything wrong with that, you know, but it does seem like, you know, there is this going on in this connection here as far as you energetically and what you're looking to bring to yourself. What's holding you back is the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is, it could be a tricky energy. I mean, it could be theft, literal and metaphorical, but it could be dishonesty, somebody who's very immoral, running away, somebody who oversteps boundaries or is really selfish. You know, it's like you need your instincts and wits to figure out the real truth of a situation, right? Having to do with this energy. But see, the thing is this, if this is holding you back, right? The Seven of Swords energy, swords being truth. Seven is the Four of the World and the Three of Trinity coming together. So it does indicate a new cycle. So there is this new cycle where there can be some dishonesty and some selfishness going on right now in this next stage of your life. Like, you want to just be super careful of the narratives that you tell yourselves. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm calling you guys like liars or whatever like that. It's not that kind of energy, right? It's a minor arcana, but it definitely is this kind of thing where you could be playing games, like literally mental gymnastics with yourself. You could be wearing a mask to yourself, which is so interesting. Like, really very much trying to convince yourself that you don't need fill in the blank, or you absolutely need fill in the blank, but your soul may feel contrary to what it is that you're saying. So you really need to, in order to navigate this, you need to really hone in to your instincts and figure out what is really going on here. What's really going on. Now, for some of you, even though you're single, this could certainly be a lingering energy of dishonesty from your past that sort of has you stuck in like energetic mud, and you just can't get the residue of them off your soul, even though you know there's nothing about that relationship that's good for you, and you know full well that they're not good for you, but you can't seem to do that final release, that final cutting. So that's going to be for some of you. Now we have what will help you move forward is death and rebirth. Yeah, I mean, this is great, right? I mean, obviously, the death is about moving on from something, right? And it's understanding that, you know, this something in your life may change because you realize that the way you're living is no longer meeting your overall needs, right? And this can definitely incite a new beginning for you. So whether it's that, and again, this is your general message, so we'll just, go discuss the different ways it can manifest. If you find that you are still very much holding on to an energy that you just can't seem to let go of, this tells me that, what you need to do, though, is to realize that this situation and holding on to it is never going to meet your needs. And if you're meant to get back with somebody from the past, you will. Energetically, there's nothing that can hold that back. If it's truly meant to happen, you really need to understand that. Let it go. Give the whole thing some breathing room if you're in that space right now. Just for now. Others of you may realize that what's changing in the way is the way that you're thinking and your whole approach to relationship. That's what needs to happen. There's got to be a separation from the way you've been living, the way you've been thinking, the way you've been doing things, and a new way of doing something in order for there to have some breathing room for growth. But there's got to be this moving on energy. Heal whatever's from the past. Get over thinking in that very linear way about relationships. Get over that a person has to have A, B, or C, or they must do whatever it is. Right? Or you feeling like you have to be that in a relationship. If you feel like that's the energy, right? Where if, any of those societal stereotypes, if that's simply something that you feel like you can never comfortably deliver in a relationship, whatever it is, maybe it's having children, maybe it's being married, maybe it's being like the primary breadwinner, right? If that's a thing, or, whatever it is, you embracing that and recognizing where you maybe have felt very held back or very challenged by these norms that you feel have been put on you, and really getting in touch with what it is that really speaks to you and your own authentic self, and really working with that, Because what you hope for is to have some clarity. I mean, the Ace of Swords is great. First of all, this is a great energy for all areas of your life. But this is new beginnings, decisions, clear thinking in love, and an immediate change in your circumstances for the better because of it. Because of this mental agility and this assertiveness and this resolve. It's almost like you're going to be feeling this resolve. Like, you know what? I'm not going to hold on to that energy anymore. That guy, that girl, whatever, they were not for me. Just really not for me. At the end of the day, I have to really look deep inside of myself and get real with myself and say, why am I holding on to that? when it's so not good for me. That's going to be for some of you. Others of you are just going to have a very strong resolve to just have a healthier mindset when it comes to relationships. Because not all people are the same and not all relationships are the same. But not all relationships are meant to last. They're just not. It's almost silly to think like that, but yet we have a very hard time with the change of it a good amount of the time. Not always, but a good amount of the time. Now, the only thing, and this, what I love about this too, is this shows me getting over past obstacles and getting what you want. Thoughts becoming things. So I love that. That's what you want. Laser focus, right? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles in the outcome. So the Knight of Pentacles is having to do with, now if this could be a person, or this could be an influence, or this could be you. All right? So if this is you, invest your time wisely in whatever energies you're deciding to date, to entertain on the phone and the internet, whatever it is. Invest your time wisely. Don't waste your time with somebody that you know you're going to be able to vibe. Now, don't be flippant and make rash conclusions about people before getting to know them. But once you get to know them, if you know that, if you even slightly smell a red flag, just put the kibosh on that, or at least just put distance there. Okay? So that's if it's you. If this is a person that you're meeting, very loyal and dependable energy that has a lot to offer. Now, the thing is, Aries, you just have to keep in mind that if this is an energy that you're meeting, they might be a little bit boring and slow to share their feelings. But depending on what it is that you're looking for, they can be, a very a strong energy that's very dependable, but might lack the excitement to capture your heart. And you have to know you guys are a fire energy. Now, I don't know what else is in your chart. You might have a ton of Taurus, a ton of Capricorn, that makes you be more grounded, where you're like, wow, that sounds perfect for me. But if you have a lot of additional fire and a lot of water, you might be like, oh wow, well, I don't know if I'm going to be, so it depends on where you're at. So just a little something to be mindful of. But this definitely shows an increase in your ability to make connections. So you meeting people. So you're definitely going to be meeting people. So I do like that. The Knight of Pentacles. It's going out. It's socializing. It's putting yourself out there. So I do like that. So I see this is a very combination kind of thing. I see a lot of healing. You have to be honest with yourself. To be honest with yourself. Are you being honest about what it is that you want, need, and desire? Are you being illogical in that? And is it because maybe you're holding on to something from the past? It's going to be different for each of you. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change lives, including your own. Taking the chance. Throwing yourself out there. Be in the present and dream of the future. Oh, I love this. When we dream, everything is possible. So be in the present, but dream of the future. Just know that whatever you have in your mind's eye is definitely possible. It sure is. It seems like, I'm sorry, I want to re-roll those because it went into, okay, Neptune, allowing yourself to dream. Second house, and we have Scorpio. Yeah, so second house, very interesting, Aries, right? It's about it's about money, it's about resources. And I was getting this vibe too with the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor, that you might want somebody, but you know what? It may be because you feel very, if you're in a position where you want somebody who has things, who has money, and all that, you want to make sure that it's because you're showing up in the same way and not as an escape latch. Please don't take offense to that, but I have to tell you what I'm getting. So some of you, if you're really honest with yourself, you're going to resonate with it like that, but it's not going to be for everybody like that. You want to just make sure that you're not looking for somebody to solve your problems of you feeling safe and secure, because you are this fire energy that just wants to go and do and be creative and do all of that, right? But you also want to know that somebody is pulling their weight, right? For the most part. So when we have the second house energies, everything that you value. So really getting in touch with, though, in a very honest way. If it is that, embrace it. If it matters to you that the person that you're with has money, then make sure the person that you're with has that going on with them. you know, or maybe at least as much money as you're making if it's about that. Also, though, it's not only about money, it's about things that we value. So going after somebody who you know you have shared values with, you know, because like the saying where like opposites attract and it's not going to work for you right now. You want somebody who's in that same space with you. We have Neptune. Be careful, because the Neptune is a very smoke and mirrors energy. It's the rule that, listen to me try to blah blah blah. It's the ruler of the 12th house, of the house of self-undoing. So you want to make sure, like, if you meet anybody, you know, that they don't do any sort of self-sabotaging behaviors, or that they don't walk their talk. You know, this could be an energy of somebody who parties too much. This could be the energy of somebody who's a lot of talk, very little action. You want to just be really, really mindful of that. Because we have Scorpio here, and Scorpio does rule sex. So it's also about transformation, though. So I do feel like there's a lot of change that's going on within you right now. And the changes might have to do in where you're waiting, you know, meaning measure-wise, what you value, you know, out in the 3D with what you really want in your dream space, right? Because Neptune being the ruler of Pisces is also about our dreams. And Scorpio can be about transformation, and the second house is about values and what matters to us, right? What we value. So what matters to you may be in a state of transition right now, all right? So one of those interpretations, it could certainly be. All right, my friends, that is what I have for the single spread. Let's go into those of you who are in a committed situation. So we're going to be doing a lover spread for those in a committed. Okay, Lovers is a Gemini energy, but it's about a decision that needs to be made in love, is the Lovers energy, right? And so, yeah, you know, stronger together than apart, all that stuff, but is everybody on the same page? And there needs to be a decision. There is likely some sort of decision that needs to be made. Likely because they say, well, if you're totally happy in a committed relationship, there's always a decision. Keeping it real. That's why most people check out tarot, you know, to get other information about something that might be pressing that's on their mind. It doesn't have to be bad. It just is, right? So we have. Okay, so let's first start with the question. Okay. The Death. So the decision in love has to be about something that either has ended, or is there a break that's going on here? Is there discussion about a separation? Was there a literal death that went on here? I shuffle these 6 times between readings, and I do additional shuffles here. And I don't think you guys are the first one to get the Death in the Lovers and the Lovers spread in this very same position. So you'll see if you watch your other, you should watch your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus, not just your sun sign. So the Death card does indicate, yeah, I mean, either a relationship ending, even though this is committed, or there's a time of separation that's very necessary if you guys are ever going to like find your feet again in a healthy way into the future, because something's going on in the relationship that needs to change. So like something needs to fall away in the way that it was happening in order for you guys to regain and be able to transform into a healthier space, for sure. Now, some of you may be working through the pain and the challenge of a literal death right now, either in your family or a friend situation, of course. Okay. Yeah. So if that's the case, I'm so sorry. So let's get some background. Yeah, so all right, so let's pause. So we have so we have here the background of the situation is the King of Coins, So the King of Coins, a need exists to settle some sort of conflict, either, within yourself, within each of yourselves, or with your partner. You really want to be more clear on something that's been unclear up to now, but you really have to go with your heart about the situation. Really is like very much a following your heart energy, really very much about, making the most of what you guys could each bring to the relationship, and just working really hard at it, it does feel like you guys are in this space of trying to show up in a relationship, because there is this idea, this energy, always like this energy, because the King of Pentacles likes to feel settled in a relationship, likes to be protector, right? But there may have been some issues that need navigating right now. So make the most out of what you guys actually can bring to the table. Now, there are two choices that are going to be at play here. So we have the Page of Wands and we have the Wheel. So let's talk about the Page of Wands first. So the Page of Wands, it can definitely be, first of all, it can mean meeting somebody new. You need to express yourself, though. First and foremost, you need to express yourself. Okay. Now, this could also be an energy that has a lot to say, but very little follow through. And there needs to be an understanding that this is the way this person is made up. So if you're dealing with a partner who promises a lot, doesn't have a lot of follow through, that could certainly be the situation, right? Another choice here, because this has to do with choices, could be meeting somebody brand new, right? I mean, it just can be. You wanted to be very clear that whatever you see in your mind's eyes, where you feel like your relationship can go, that it's not only a theory, that it could be implemented in practice as well, right? So if, let's say your partner sits you down and says, look, we need to start doing things differently, right? I want to propose this, like whatever it is, let's go to therapy, or let's figure out how we're going to fix this. Or maybe somebody sitting down and saying, I think we need to move, or I think we need to have a baby, or I think we need to get married, whatever it is, right? So it's like this new idea coming in, right? You may like the idea of it, but you want to be sure that it's doable in more than just theory, but in reality. Okay, so that's the different ways that, either a particular proposal coming in, you being in the space where you're like, all right, I need to meet somebody new, but definitely expressing yourself. You need to express how you're feeling. But it's this expression towards starting a new chapter, right? Because the page always indicates a new cycle. So now the other choice is the Wheel. Now, I'm going to give a couple of interpretations of this, because this is not going to be the same for each of you, because the Wheel does indicate an ex-love interest coming back from the past, right? But then you being in the space of being like, I don't know if I should actually go for it, but meanwhile you're in a committed relationship. So this is something that some of you are going to be in this space of needing to deal with. But this is the energy of you don't want to try to fit a circle in a square if something's not working. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, though, can also be an unexpected but very positive change that's made to your living situation that seems to come out of absolutely nowhere, but it ends up being a great thing. So this can manifest as like really positive communication, just fated wisdom is working in your life right now. Stay super open. This could even be, guys, this could even be finding out that you're expecting a baby. This could just be about finding out somebody got a job, finding out that I don't know, there was some sort of windfall in an area of life that ends up being a good thing. So one is very, very positive. The other one could still be positive. Maybe not, I don't know, wherever you're at, because this is a general reading, but that is what the Wheel means. Remember, Wheel, even though it's ruled by Jupiter, it's very fated. It's very destiny driven, and it's very cyclical, right? So something that at least energetically was going on comes to manifestation, comes back around, okay? Having to do with this energy. So then we have here the final outcome. Oh, wait, no, first let me talk about the best action to take, which is the beautiful Eight of Wands. This is really nice energy. Probably my favorite minor arcana. This is good news coming in. Lots of busy communication. This is great if you've been feeling like really held back or you've been waiting for a decision. It's good news for growth is coming in. And I feel like, I mean, honestly, this is really about good, solid communication going really, really well. Really well. So, honestly, stay open. Lots of communication. Best action to take. Allow it. Allow the strong foundation. Allow the communication. Do not allow any sort of like ego issues. Don't allow anything like that to get in the way. It's not going to be good, right? It will ultimately end up not being good, right? We have the Queen of Swords. Anyway, the Queen of Swords, you can't hide from the Queen of Swords. It's Virgo and Libra. Very motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation of the situation, right? You know, she's very strong and just very determined and very honest. Like there's a lot of honesty that's going on here. So, you know, having to do with this Eight of Wands, this communication with the Wheel and the truth. There's a lot of communication that needs to be addressed here about the underpinnings of something. All right. So it does seem like you're in a committed relationship, but there is something going on either with people who either you or them, someone is communicating with people online. Or this may be some sort of issue going on at work having to do with like networking and saying that they need to go out. There might be something going on with somebody at work. And the argument, okay, Birch Broom is about an argument. The Skaith means something needs to be cut out. What needs to be cut out is that communication with that person in that way, having to do with that individual who you're communicating with at work. Right? That's the park. It does indicate work, like networking, working, and people that you have to put yourself out there and involve yourself with for, any sort of situation that needs connection, like work or any kind of project that you might be working on. But it does seem like that is an issue in this relationship. It seems to be a thing. So there's got to be open communication. It looks like, I mean, you guys could definitely like rise from the ashes and kind of take care of this. Because I see there is commitment here. There's definitely emotion here, but there's not good communication. Romance. Get to know each other good. Demonstrate love. When we get to know each other card, this isn't like, oh, hi, my name's Joe, or my name's Kathy kind of thing. It's not like that. It's more like really understanding what it is that you and your partner each need individually in the relationship in order to be happy. It's not functioning from your perspective of how you think the relationship should be or them doing that. There's got to be a lot of empathy. Figuring out what really moves your partner that they don't really talk about. What really moves you? Or do you know? Like what, do you dare yourself to go there and get like really, really honest with you? We have romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. It's always a good remedy. and demonstrate love. Find out what's important to those you love and act on it. Yes. Who else got this? I don't remember. Maybe Capricorn. I'm not sure. You'll have to check. But, all right. I want to get a couple of psychology cards here. Better understand what's going on underneath this. Ooh, the mask is falling off. Oh boy. Okay. Seeing you reminds me of things I know deep down, but that I struggle to deal with. So, you may be in a relationship here where, when it happens, first house, seventh house that's the axis of mirroring, having to do with relationship. You may do this to your partner may do this to you, where it's like these things that hurt, these ideas about you that you don't really like, the shadow side of yourself, that Black Moon Lilith energy stuff kind of thing, right? That they have, that you have, we all have it, right? But it's like, even just seeing your face, or you even seeing their face, reminds each of you of pain and things that that they're struggling with on their own right now. So, there's got to be communication here. The mask is falling off, which I love. This is a central card, because that's healthy, because masks should not be worn in committed relationships. And then it says, I know I lack balance, but it's not so easy to look at. No, it's not. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. All right. We have Scorpio. We have the 6th house. We have Pluto. Oh, I love this, because this is about lots of transformation, going from here to there, a better place, away from the toxicity. So allowing that Plutonian change. Pluto rules Scorpio. Again, Scorpio is the death energy, though. It's about allowing there to be transformation. The death is not a bad thing. It just means that the way we've been doing it up to now, we need to change things in order for us to, 6th house, make the relationship healthier, because that's what that is. The 6th house. So Virgo energy. It's our health, mental, physical, and emotional. And it's also the house of where we're of service to others. So being really open about how you and your partner can be of service to each other. And that's not to say you're going to be slaves to each other. You know what I mean? But like, how can you help each other out better? Pisces, mystic, right? Allowing yourselves to dream, allowing yourselves to use your imagination and just go there, allowing yourselves to go there. So really beautiful energies. I like it. Looks like a nice reading, although challenging at points. So, okay. Alrighty. Yes, somebody might be, I don't know who's communicating with who at maybe work or online even, could be, I don't know. But that may need to be cut out for now. It does seem like, okay. All right, let's go to our complicated. So complicated, we're going to start off with the death energy, right? It's all about transformation. It's the Scorpio energy. So let's see what past issues need to be released. Like, what needs to go or be transformed? Like, what needs to be transitioned? What needs to be changed? So what needs to be released here or transformed? 9 of Cups. So you wish fulfillment. So this, okay? So this needs to be transformed or released. And the outcome is the Ace of Swords, mental clarity. Okay. So when we get the 9 of Cups, I mean, the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment, right? It's happiness, wishes manifesting, great, being great friends with each other, all of that, right? Old tensions dissolving into waters from the past kind of thing, right? And just things being really good. Well, this needs to be transformed, or it needs to be let go of. What it is that you either, and I know that sounds painful to even say it, right? where, you know, if you had a lot of dreams with this person and it's time to release them. Or you guys need to sit down and very authentically and very honestly restructure where it is that you see yourselves going. Because we have the outcome is the Ace of Swords. You know, the Ace of Swords, you know, this is a good energy for new beginnings, decisions, clear thinking, you know, absolutely immediate change to the circumstances for the better. It's mental agility. It's assertive. Being assertive is going to bring success, but don't be zealous, right? You don't want to be zealous here. You know, be assertive, not aggressive here, right? But this is really about getting over past obstacles, getting what you want, thoughts becoming things, being able to manifest something. So there needs to be this release of something and this restructuring of, you know, maybe you guys used to lay around and talk about, you know, what you each saw in your mind's eyes about, you know, as far as where your relationship was going. You know, maybe we'll have kids, maybe we'll live here, maybe we'll do this or that. Well, it does look like that needs to be released if you guys are going to stay together. But I see with the Ace of Swords, I see you guys being able to do it because it's getting over the past obstacles and really getting what you want in a very honest way, right? Because remember, swords are honesty. So yeah, I mean, look, keeping it real, some of you are going to resonate with this. It might have been getting married. Now, some of you are restructuring your thinking, or maybe some of you are, I mean, you could be having this conversation. Things need to change in the marriage because we do have the Justice energy, and Justice is Libra, and Libra is the landlord of the 7th house of partnerships. You know, particularly partnerships that would include a legally binding kind of thing, or at least a lot of time in, right? So that's why we say marriage for that one a lot of the times. But we have this working with the idea of the star. And the star, this is Aquarius energy. Aquarius is, you know, ruled by Uranus. It's about the future, right? But this is really an energy that you're just destined to be with somebody, right? And it's you know, this feeling that you're meant to be with somebody. And this is that 9 of Cups energy. But guys, this is what needs to be transformed and needs to be let go of, because this is a call for you to get super honest with yourself about what the reality of how you perceive this relationship. Okay, because the Justice energy, by the way, is all about also about the truth coming out. It's about things being equitable, a lot of fairness, a lot of give and take. You know, I mean, that the Justice energy is, think about the scales, right? Balance and fairness are important to look at right now. So remember, Venus wants us to feel good about being in something, and she values things being equitable and loving, right? So you have to make sure that your emotional needs are being met here. And so, you know, and it's also a marriage energy. So, you know, what's going on there. But again, then we have the star. It's about healing. I'm taking a different chance, like having a different perspective. You know, in numerology, this is connected to the Strength energy. So strength is Leo. Leo is the 5th house of romance. So, you know, maybe finding the romance again, or just doing things differently, because this really is about you know, hope and guidance and inspiration and a change for the better after a difficult time, you know. But it is this release that's absolutely needed, for sure. So we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Swords, and the King of, we have 2 kings. Ooh, fated relationship. Definitely meant to happen. We got 2 kings. Okay. Very fated, meant to be. Okay, so we have the Death, so what needs to be transformed? So we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups in astrology is a Gemini and Cancer energy. Gemini rules communication. Cancer is about home. So, you know, when we're having this transformation, there could be a change having to do with the living situation that you guys are in, for sure. This could have to do with just change in what you feel like you need to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. This is very intuitive energy as well, very like a high EQ, like high emotional intelligence. not afraid of intimacy, not afraid of parenting, understands what it takes, right? Treasuring values and all of that stuff. But this can also indicate falling in love, a deepening of love and emotional honesty about what's needed to make something work, right? It's like you're very loving and you're very giving in this energy, and you're willing to sit and try to cooperate, right? And so while we go through this transition, this is very much what's necessary. Now we have this working with the King of Swords, that he stays very much in the mental realm, right? Focused on the mind rather than the heart. This is really about taking charge of circumstances, and not allowing emotions to wash over a situation. So it's like, you're figuring out what you want and need to feel very grounded, rooted, and safe and secure, but you addressing it was very pragmatically, where you're saying, like on paper, what makes sense, right? But then we have the King of Cups energy comes in. Again, if this is a person, this is very charismatic energy, somebody who's unafraid of intimacy. But the influence tells me that there's a need exists here to settle some sort of conflict, either like within yourself or between the two of you. And you may not be clear on how to handle something, so you really need to go with your heart here. You really need to go with your heart, because there has to be a settling of some sort of conflict, right? Because remember, again, in astrology, this is Libra and Scorpio. Libra being about relationship, Scorpio being about transformation. So things having been challenging, now we have to figure it out, right? So then we have this Ace of Swords, which is all about having this mental clarity that I mentioned. Okay, we have Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, and then the Emperor. So, yeah, as far as the outcome energy goes, so the Two of Swords, this tells me that you're in this space of, first of all, you're in an emotional stalemate and you need to make a decision, but you're feeling very much like you need to protect yourself. They may be feeling that too, though. But the thing is this. You have to make a decision, because the situation's not going to go away and it's not going to become better unless you resolve it. So you really need to stand your ground, say what you think, make a decision about the future, because where is this going? Like, I see you having a lot of clarity here, but still you're at this stalemate where it's like, I'm not sure, right? This is it's a very heavy moon energy. The Two of Swords is a moon in Libra, right? So it's these emotions that are lingering underneath the surface about relationship, and you're not really discussing them with anybody. So that's why I say it's like an emotional stalemate, but they may be having this as well. So, you guys are trying to work things out, and it's this time to compromise about who needs what to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure, which is really good. And there's like a lot of honesty that needs to be had here, but we're at cross purposes. And then we have this working with the Emperor energy, and the Emperor is really trying to be very, very practical and address like any sort of current issues within the situation, but you're trying to be very, very practical. So there's a lot of like practical air here. Practical air. That I don't know how it's going to end up. I got the Hermit energy. Okay. So look, the Hermit, if you guys are together and you're going to work on the relationship, if you're going to work on it, this is time to invest more energy and work to smooth over any issues that need addressing, right? But this could also be like going it alone for a bit, but because however this relationship has been rolling out up to this point has not been for your highest good. It's just not. It hasn't been meant for you. So there's got to be this change. That's 100%. Now, whether you guys are trying to work on something or you're going it alone, almost doesn't matter. It's two sides of the same coin. That something was not working as it was meant to be up to this point. Yep, and we have the Chariot. Okay. So the Chariot, now something is expedited here, right? So we always have to look at the cards around it. Something could be likely ending if it ultimately wasn't good for you, moving away from the toxicity. We have the Hermit energy. So let me pull another card. We have the Six of Cups. Oh boy. Okay. A Ten of Swords. Yeah. Oh. You know, complicated is always complicated, because then look, I mean, the Chariot energy is Cancer energy, right? It is moving away from toxicity. You know, it's something like the way it was working. You need to move away from that, right? And it's very quick. All right, very quick energy, moving away from something. We have the Six of Cups, though, which is a harkening back to the past. So for, you know, a lot of people, this is feeling very nostalgic about something from the past, and you being in the space of reconnecting with somebody from your past, possible reconciliation. But you know, you have to figure out if it's got the bones to make it, right? I mean, and that's going to be different for all of you. Like, certainly don't go back to something that was super negative, that you know was just energetically not well aligned for you, where you were way more unhappy than you were happy in the connection. Like, leave it be, like, leave it in the rearview mirror for sure. But this could also indicate finding the right balance in relationships. So if you've been suffering any kind of mistreatment in this relationship, or any kind of, you know, sense of like feeling misunderstood, feeling discounted, feeling abandoned in any way, this can indicate, you know, things improving, things being remedied, so to speak, right? Because this is the Sun and Scorpio energy, so there is this allowance of there being this sort of transformation here. But I can tell you that is a very heavy energy to the past. So if you're in a complicated situation where you guys are not together anymore, this can indicate a reconciliation and things being better this time. If you guys are deeply entrenched in a current relationship and things are just not going well, it looks like somebody's going to be thinking about getting back with somebody from their past. This is a good energy, followed by a challenging energy, the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is really ending, right? Complete and painful ending. And there's a history here, right? And the thing is, this is going to release you from frustration and stress, even if it hurts you in the short term, right? This is like the end of a very challenging time, so that you can transform into a healthier energy with fresh eyes and a new mindset, and a much healthier way of being. So it really is about something ending so that something else can be transformed. Now, really good if you're not in communication right now and you're getting back together with somebody, right? Well, you guys are still very heavy in each other's energy, and you know it. You know you're in each other's energy. There's no question. This is a reconciliation energy, okay? Because to have the Hermit, which is going it alone for the time being because the way it was not good, and then to have the Chariot, you're willing to move away from the toxicity and just go towards healthier stuff, putting an end towards all of that unhealthy stuff so that there can be a much better reconnection. And there could just be healing here, you know? There are things that are remedied that weren't really good before. So that is what we have there. Nope. So we have 7, which has to do with partnerships. Okay. Pluto, which means transformation. Don't you love when the dice and the cards and the astrology, everything blends together? And then we have Gemini, which is all about communication. So communicating differently. Communicating. There's got to be this reaching out. If you guys are not in communication right now, somebody's reaching out to somebody. I don't know if it's you to them or them to you. You know, however it's going to work. It's going to be a little different for each of you. Square, challenge, yeah. So there's going to be tension here, for sure. But we love squares. The thing, well, I do anyway. Because look, it's about reconciling something. So you have to have tension in order to reconcile something. Doesn't that make sense? So we can't have sextiles and trines all day long, because we would never get anything done, right? We have to have squares that frustrate us, that create struggle, that creates pressure in order to create the motivation and the desire to fix stuff. So I like that. Yes. All right. Let me just pull a couple more oracles for you guys. see what we have. Whispers of love. Focus on love. Look for the good. Beautiful. Look for the good, not the bad. It's so easy to focus on the bad, right? I think we all do that, you know, when we're in a weird space in relationships. It's like the checklist. They do that, that, and that's why it's not working. You know what I mean? We all do it sometimes. Okay. Have patience. Love is patient and kind always. Cheesy saying, but man, is that true, is it not? Just be very patient with whatever is rolling out, because you're going to have to deal with the square. There is the square energy that's happening here, and you're going to have to work through patiently work through something. It's frustrating. It's demanding. It can be hurtful. All of that fabulous sounding stuff, but it reconciles issues, which is really what I think we want here. I don't know how to talk to you, but I miss you. Mental health is an issue in this connection. That could just simply be anxiety, depression, something like that. You project who you want me to be onto me and our connection. I wish you could just accept me as I am. Wow. You are my red thread. Okay, if you don't know what red thread is, I've done a couple of, I think I did a video a long time ago on this when I first started my channel last year, but this would be like the soulmate energy that you end up with. Somebody that you're meant to learn lessons with, but you guys figure your stuff out. You don't always get that with the soulmate energy, and you certainly don't always get that with the twin flame. But with the red thread energy, you guys come together, you are challenged like nobody's business, but you end up figuring your stuff out, growing together and staying together. So complicated, yes, but painful, challenging, yes, but I like the outcome. So that is what I have for you, my friends. I hope this resonates with you, because this is good. If not, I'm so sorry if it's not your reading. We'll get you next time. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye.